All right, folks, it's funny because we pulled up on the flat and we got Tony and Eli in the boat with Chad and I, and we're looking for bait. Well, not looking, we're listening. And Chad and I are both standing on the front of the boat and we're like, right there, right there. Do you hear it? Flick, flick. And Tony and Eli are looking at us like, you guys are nuts. But if you, it's hard to replicate, and it's hard to really teach somebody what you're listening for. But if you take your finger and you flick the surface, I'm going to try it in the live well just to see if it will work. That's exactly what it sounds like. So when you're on a flat and you don't see anything, but you do see some birds, I saw some birds when we first pulled up, so I know that there's bait on this flat. But all we did was come in and we just started listening, and sure enough, we heard flick, 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 flick. So Chad now is going to do the 180 degrees spread to get these
get some stink in the water.
The tide should be going out.
That's the initial stuff that came out of the bucket.
Yeah, well, it will be moving here in a minute. So anyway, we're gonna get set up and see if we can catch some bait.
Good throw.
Thank you.
Smacked them. Smacked them good.
Yep. Done. All right, folks. Well, got a live well full of bait. Got some bucket with bait. Now we're gonna head off. We've got some storms in the. Got some storms in the offshore, but we'll see what we can do. We're gonna try to head offshore because we had such a good day yesterday with Captain Brian Lambert, and we're gonna see what we can do. Come on.
There we go. A little short, but it's the right species. On the old stinky pinkies.
Stinky pinky. We're having to go through a lot of grunts to get that first hogfish, but they're down there. If you're catching grunts offshore, you know you're over the right bottom. We're catching grunts, hogfish, mangrove snapper, red grouper, porgies, a bunch of different stuff. And it's rougher than they said it was going to be.
Imagine that. Weatherman was wrong. Imagine that.
I'm telling you, I'm on fire with these snapper.
Oh, one slapped me in the head.
On the slacker cut bait. Thank you. He just unhooked himself.
Pop his jaws.
Yeah. Folks, it just goes to show 20-pound leader, slacker jig, 1/8 ounce, 70 feet of water.
Really better off using a rod up front.
What's that? Feels like a red grouper.
Yep.
Fatty. Put on pinfish. Doubled up. I'm helping you. Eli all of a sudden has become on fire. I can't even buy a bite. I'm cold.
Oh, it's a hog.
Is it? Not big enough, but it's a hog.
Right. If Eli sticks on him, he might make it.
Uh-oh.
That's a keeper.
Uh-oh. Doubled up.
Come on, Chad, don't lose that thing.
You got him, Chad.
I knew where that was headed.
Oh, what did that feel like? A gag? Really? Chad's been on a 2-day break off spree. Oh, Chadley.
You know what the gag is? I think so. Yep. Biggie. That one. Oh, that one. Yeah. There you go. Only to get him in the boat.
Yeah, come on, Eli.
I'm thinking about it. So that unmistakable. Yeah. That.
Throw that thing in the water.
Every time you say that.
He sucks. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping, that I can just get one bite on the pinfish. Well, folks, it's been a fun day. We went and started looking in some new areas. We actually went north instead of south, and we found we were gifted some numbers. The relief shading out here it does not show up, so we had to kind of go blind, and we had some numbers that a friend of us had gifted us a while ago, so we kind of started in that area and just expanded out. Found a bunch of ledges and hard bottom, and we caught tons of hogfish. We caught gag grouper, scamp grouper, red grouper, big mangrove snapper, lane snapper, strawberry grouper, porgies, grunts. So we caught a huge variety of fish. But the cool thing about it is being able to go out and scout new areas and look for new areas. And like this one we're sitting on now, Eli did very well on the hogfish. He finally redeemed himself after a long day today. But we're gonna head back to the ramp, or to the dock. I always say ramp. I don't know why we don't use a ramp. We're gonna head back to the dock, show you the fish, and then I'll go over the log book for the conditions today, and let you know what we experienced. Well, you got to leave it to Chad. I give him the GoPro to do a table shot, and he leaves it just running. But folks, we had a great time on the water. We caught a ton of fish. How many hogfish did we end up with?
I forgot. 2, 4, 6, 9, 8, 9.
9 hogfish. We got scamp, we got mangrove snapper, we got lane snapper, vermilions. Caught a bunch of red grouper. We caught some gag grouper. So we caught a lot of different species today, and that's the neat thing about going offshore, that you do have an opportunity to catch a variety of fish like we did today. So that's the cool thing about going offshore. In today's log,
Sounds like it might be stormy.
yeah, well, we got back right before the storms. The storms were right off here. We had to hump it back in at about 44 miles an hour, but we kept watching the radar, and it had this outflow boundary coming at us, and I'm like, man, that thing's moving fast. so we had to hump it to get back. But the log for today, we had pretty much an outgoing tide most of the day. Turned to come in later in the day. It seemed like as the tide started to die off, that's when the bite started to die off. But we found some really good ledges. It was overcast in the morning, and then it became sunny in the afternoon. We had a major feeding time from 150 to 250, and it was a pretty decent bite during that time. It wasn't horrible, but it was a pretty decent bite throughout the day. So it was pretty good. But so we had overcast skies for part of the day, sunny skies for part of the day. Then we have an outgoing tide. We had the salooner minor feeding time from 150 to 250. The water temperature was 86 degrees. So the water temp is starting to come down just a little bit, which is nice, because I think as the temperature goes down more and more, we only fished, the deepest we fished was like 82 feet. So it will allow people that like to go offshore, you don't have to go as far now. So anyway, that's the log, the fishing log for this trip. I just want to say thank you to everybody for watching. We really appreciate it. I know this one is going to be a little all over the place. I think I'm going to add something to it. There was just so much going on today, and it was so rough early part of the day that sometimes it makes it difficult to film. So I kind of was off that. I missed one of the really big snappers that I caught. But like I said, we caught a ton of fish, had a great time. Eli, did you have fun?
I sure did. I missed being out there.
You definitely made up for it at the end of the day. I was getting worried about you. I was getting worried I was going to have to change your nickname to Small Fish. Yeah. And then Slackline Tony, he was the grunt king today, boy. He caught more grunts than I think he caught anything else. And Chad did well on the hogfish, as usual, hogfish king. So again, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Fish more, catch more, and we'll see you on the flip side.